let me start with the practitioner, because they say the taste of the pudding is in the eating. Let me start with Mr. Audu, and I want to ask, given the far-reaching socio-economic implications of this pandemic, I'm sure pension fund operators must have encountered some operational challenges. Can you please elaborate on these challenges and possibly highlight actions operators have taken or are taking to ameliorate this? Mr. Audu, you have the floor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And to the participants and the organizers, we really appreciate this forum, particularly at this time. It gives us an opportunity to engage and spread our reach and let our customers and also other participants know, I think, the steps we're taking to, in a sense, ameliorate the tensions that this pandemic has occasioned. So because of time, I wouldn't, drag too much. What I would like to, break this into a framework and talk about 4 key areas. So the first area I would like to talk about is generally the impact this has had on investment strategy. Then I'll move on to customer engagement, our staff relations, and generally our operations as a pension fund. And I'll just go very briefly so that I give the other panelists ample opportunity to also speak. So kicking off with the investment strategy, I think one of the really big challenges that this has brought really is a decline in investor appetite at this point in time. Investors generally have a very large apathy towards investing either in fixed income markets or in the equity markets, as we've seen. Year-to-date performance has not been very encouraging on the NSE index, as well as if you look at yields in the fixed income market, a big challenge as we speak is inflation is hovering around 12.8. But for instance, the 12-year bond, the 10-year bond is hovering around 8%. So we are seeing significant negative real spreads in the market. And these are quite challenging, even though the trend is expected to reverse at some point in the future. The question now is when, and how do we handle that challenge at this point in time? I think how we're navigating this is really looking for opportunities where assets are severely undervalued. For instance, in the equities market, if you cast your mind back to March, April, you had some banking stocks trading as low as 2 or 3 times earnings. Case in point was Zenith Bank. Zenith Bank got as low as 11 Naira per share, but today it's trading around 16 Naira. So what we tend to find is that even in the midst of challenges, it brings with it, a set of corresponding opportunities. And as much as possible, we are capitalizing on that. On the fixed income side, what we are also doing is seeing how we can engage in tactical trading plays. So as opposed to buying a 10-year bond at 8% and holding it to maturity, one of the things we're doing is capitalizing on, the volatility and movements in the markets to be able to generate some sort of alpha. So you buy a bond at 8%, it moves down 50 basis points, 70 basis points, you book your profits and rinse and repeat as you see the opportunities arising across the curve. So in a sense, we're playing the yield curve on the fixed income side, using tactical positions to still maintain alpha. And on the equity side, we are looking for deep discounted stocks that give us long-term value to be able to give our beneficiaries a good bang for the buck. On the customer engagement side, one of the things I think this pandemic has done for us is giving us the opportunity to leverage technology to reach a wider audience, as we are doing now. So setting up a wide variety of customers. So we found this has, in a sense, more engaging in that sense. Staff relations, we are also leveraging technology, giving our staff sort of access to best-in-class software to be able to reach each other and stay in touch at this time. And on the operations side, it's the same thing really, just using whatever technology we have to ensure that we maintain our operations and are more efficient as time goes by. So, looking at it in terms of saving costs, for instance, things like diesel spend, travel spend, moving around in cars to reach out customers and people. Those things have reduced significantly. So I think for the most part, I mean, I may not be able to speak for every particular player, but my general expectation is that costs have reduced significantly and operations generally are more efficient for us. So that's in a nutshell how we are navigating this pandemic situation.
Well, thank you very much,